Hello and welcome to Tea and Cornbread, a conversation with Sean and Tracy. I am Sean.
And I'm Tracy.
And we are talking to you all that are 50 and fabulous.
And don't forget handsome.
And we want you to know that we want to get some education happening, some empowerment.
We want to grow with you. We want to learn with you. We want to see what you're doing, 50 and over.
So like, share, comment, follow, subscribe,
grab your
tea. Hey, this is Tea and Cornbread. How are you?
Yes.
We haven't been in the studio for a minute, but
sure
we've been in the streets
not.
though.
Yeah.
So
oh, that too.
Hopefully y'all watching
Catch
us.
one or two of those videos.
Right. So what's up, Trey? How was your weekend?
My weekend has been going just fine so far.
Okay.
What we do? Oh, we did game night.
All right.
With pint-sized Diva Shire.
Yeah, right.
What else I do? Yesterday, what did I do? I really didn't do much of anything. How about you?
Let me tell you. I had yesterday off because we canceled the
the cleanup,
the door knocking or whatever, right?
Yep.
But yes.
Fun size diva.
Okay, we got a correction from our producer.
Yes.
It's not pint-sized diva.
I apologize.
The fun size diva.
Get it right. That's right.
Game night every week at House of Goats, every other week in Waterbury, and the other week in what do you call it? New Britain.
Come out, have fun. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's just fun. Go on Black Game Night. It's BLAQ. Yeah.
Yep.
Game night on Facebook, or The Fun Size Diva on Facebook. Okay.
I'm smiling because it's a fun time. But
it is
anyway,
a fun time. Right.
Go ahead. You were saying.
So instead, what we did is we went for a walk up at Hot Brook, hiking.
Okay.
You know, I don't know nothing about no hiking, right? So, but it was
you
nice.
Survived.
I did, but I told them they were responsible for me. I said nobody knows I'm here.
So who'd you walk
I'm out
with?
here in the woods
your
with you.
Co-op?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
My co-op team. Co-op team with Melody, Alicia, and Catherine.
You made the best of it, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alicia was her idea. This was her spot, so she was able to navigate us around.
Awesome.
It was really, really nice.
Awesome.
I didn't know. I mean, I haven't been there since I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so walking through that, it was nice. It
was a great day. It really turned out to be a very nice day. It really did.
Be a great day.
It really did.
We had great conversation, of course. You know what I mean, about some things.
That's what it is.
And so that was nice. And then that was it. I stopped by a Black Game Night on Friday.
You did. Tail end of it, but you did.
Yeah.
I know. She's busy. No, I'm just joking with her.
I didn't play, but I came.
Yes.
And that was basically it. And then today, what do I have? Oh, today we're going to be at the Love and Care Garden.
Okay.
On Burton Street.
Mm-hmm.
So
time?
1:00.
Okay.
But yeah,
okay.
1:00. So you guys are going to see this after the fact. But Love and Care Garden on Burton Street is open to the community. Mm-hmm. And so if you want to grow some food or learn how to or whatever, they have a whole program happening this summer, this season. So go on to nest, N-E-S-T, .org, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm not positive, but just look for Nest on NEST on Facebook, on social medias. If you want to learn how to garden, you want to grow something, you want to help, you want to whatever that is, just go on there and reach out to Yashua. I think I'm saying the name right. Yashua is the director of the garden.
Awesome.
So we're going to be going there, and on Tuesdays starting next week, next week, I'll be going there on Tuesdays between, I think it's open from between 11 and 1 o'clock or something like that. And so I'm going to be going there
to
weekly,
maintain help.
Weekly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
To help
awesome
out
stuff.
because it's a community garden.
And that's what I was going to say. It's a community garden. Get out there, see what's going on in your neighborhood, and learn how to grow.
Yes.
Listen,
the North End Cooperative Market, right, is in collaboration with them, with the garden and things like that. And so our mission this year, our slogan this year is to grow food, partnerships, and ownerships.
Nice.
So come on out
and
look out for our events and things that's going to be happening in collaboration with a few different organizations and nice. Ourselves. But if you want to be a part of the North End Cooperative Market, you can go to northandcoop.com and join our email list so that you'll get everything. And we also on social media, IG and Facebook.
Awesome. You know what? I yesterday I said I didn't say I didn't do anything, but yesterday I went to a birthday party / going away. One of my niece's brothers is going into the service, and the only reason I'm bringing this up was because the family, like I've never met them before. They live in Meriden, was so welcoming. And it just, sometimes you don't know what you're going into when you don't know the people. You go for your family, your side. Let me tell you, those people out in Meriden, and I apologize for not remembering their names. Yesterday was an awesome event.
Nice.
The way they treated us, the hospitality. They had people there from Maryland. They had people there from New York. Nice. And that's love. Nice. Like, that is just love. And all they kept saying, we're family now. We're family now.
Yeah.
So it's just awesome to stay connected. Stay connected with people. Yeah. Get out. And sometimes I don't want to get out, because I wasn't going to go. My niece is like, we were going to the store. Next thing I know, I'm in Meriden.
That's what we do.
Look, I think she kidnapped me, y'all. I think she kidnapped me, but it was a fun time. I say that to say we just, get out there.
Enjoy
we don't never
yourself.
know who we gonna rub elbows with, who we gonna meet, or what we gonna enjoy. So get out there. Go meet Sean on a Tuesday if you can.
Yeah. Come on out.
Or go to the community garden. I need to get out there and do stuff like that. I got to get a little bit more involved in what's going on around me. Okay.
All right, so let's read our affirmation.
We'll read our affirmation really quick.
Yes.
Okay, so today is April 21st. It says, let me control your mind. The mind is the most restless, unruly part of mankind. Long after you have learned the discipline of holding your tongue, your thoughts defy your will. Long after you have learned the discipline of holding your tongue, your thoughts defy your will and set themselves up against me. Man is the pinnacle, my creation, and the human mind is wondrous complex. I risk all by granting you freedom to think for yourself. This is God's privilege, forever setting you apart from animals and robots. I make you in my image, procrastinately close to Deity. Deity. I'm not pronouncing it right. Deity.
Yeah.
Though my blood has fully redeemed you, your mind is the last bastion of rebellion. Open yourself to the radiant presence, letting my light permeate your thinking. When my spirit is controlling your mind, you are filled with life and peace. Awesome. Remember,
Amen.
We are not robots. AI.
We are not robots. Exactly. We are not. All right. So this is awesome. So we can't wait for you to see our guest today. Yes. Oh my goodness. So stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Hey. Oh my goodness. Today's episode is going to be amazing because it is on a topic that you probably would not even think about for us. But it's about health and wellness. And we're going to be talking about mushrooms.
Yeah,
and
the benefits of.
Yes. We have a guest today. He doesn't know that he's my brother already.
He knows now.
He knows now, right? And we met not too long ago. We met when you first opened. This is Patrick Blanchett.
Yes,
Blanchett. Thank you. After I said it 50 times, right? Blanchett. So before we get started, we're going to do breathing, and then we'll introduce you a little bit, and then you go into who you are, and then we'll go from there.
Yes.
All right. So we sit flat, our feet flat, and we rub our hands together to conjure up that energy. And then we're going to inhale through our nose, hold it for 4 seconds, and then exhale through our mouth. And when we're inhaling the intent for today's conversation. And we're going to exhale all that doesn't serve us. All right, ready? We're going to do it 3 times. Okay. One more. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes. So one of the things that Patrick said when we were talking about the oils and how we do it, he said, "You guys use oils and I use mushrooms." Right. So yeah, all right, all right. So Patrick is the owner and founder of Union City Farms. It's a mushroom farm in Prospect, Connecticut. Prospect. Yes. In Prospect, Connecticut. And man, oh man, the first time when we saw that, we walked in, and the first thing I said is, "Would you be on the podcast?" This was over a year ago already. And he's like, "Listen, I just opened, so I don't have the capacity
not yet
to do that." Yeah. And so I went in again the other day, yesterday, matter of fact. Went in again yesterday, and it was amazing. Always a great conversation. Your hair was long the first time when I went.
Yep. I chopped it all off. I had a beard too. I don't know if you had the beard back then.
But. Yeah. So I am so happy to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I asked him, like, "Would you be on the podcast? Could you come tomorrow?" He was like, "Matter of fact, yeah, I could." So I'm so happy you're here.
Nice. Well, thank you again for having me.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you go into mushrooms. Why mushrooms? Right.
Okay. Sure. So I guess it started with my employment with corporate America. I was sitting behind a desk watching my soul leave my body for a decade. Wow. And I was good at what I did, but I came across this girl that I dated for a little while, and she was a mindfulness coach. And I've never meditated. I've never done any of that inner work before. And she kind of opened me up to that. And so I started to kind of dive into that and ask the deeper questions of what I really want out of life. Really, what am I doing here, right? And I quickly came to the answer that sitting behind a desk was not for me. So I took a leap of faith. I knew what I didn't want to do, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I left that job, and I found this property. And I loved gardening, so I just kind of used it as like my therapy and just started building the biggest garden that I possibly could.
Wow.
I had severance pay from my employment, so I kind of coasted on that for a little bit, but I really didn't know what I was doing. I knew what, like I said, I knew what I didn't want to do. So throughout this process of building this garden, I quickly realized after doing the math that it's going to take me an awful lot of tomatoes to pay my mortgage. So I started looking into cash crops, things that I can do that were a little bit more niche that maybe there was a market for. So I started looking into like goji berries and ginseng and horseradish and like weird things kind of out of the ordinary, right? And microgreens came into my forecast, and microgreens, for anybody that doesn't know, is essentially a sprout. So a lot of times you can find alfalfa sprouts or pea shoots in the stores, but there is a whole world of microgreens. Essentially, you can almost turn anything into a microgreen.
Yeah.
And they are highly nutritious because all their nutrients are concentrated in their sprout form instead of having to grow into a full plant. So when you cut it at that sprout form, you're getting all those nutrients. So I was big into health and big into food, and farming and gardening was kind of just always in my repertoire. And microgreens came up, and I'm like, I could do this. This is something that I could do. So I dove in hard. I got to the point where I was comfortable enough doing them that I wanted to start a business. It was going to be a microgreen business. That was going to be my cash crop, and I'm still going to do the tomatoes and the cucumbers and the eggplant stuff like that. But I needed something that was going to be sustainable to pay my mortgage, right? So I dove in and I started researching other microgreen farmers in the area and inviting them over and seeing their product and seeing their labels and their packaging and how they deliver and all that good stuff. And I was talking to this one guy. We were out in the back on my farm, and we were looking at the crops and everything. And I'm like, hey, listen, the only reason that you're here is because I'm picking your brain because I want to do what you're doing. And he goes, man, the whole market for microgreens is so saturated because it's not rocket science. Once you figure it out, you can do a lot of different varieties. He's like, but, if you can get into mushrooms, there's a huge niche for mushrooms. And I'm like, man, this is really ironic because as I was going through knowing that I wanted to farm or wanted to garden, I went through a whole bunch of documentaries and information and research about the agricultural industry and food in general and how it actually gets to our table. And that was eye-opening enough for me to change the way that I consume food. And that made me plant-based. And so I was eating mushrooms almost every single day, but I was only eating the ones that you could find in the store because
Right.
mushrooms are a good meat replacement. So I took that comment and I kind of researched it, and I found this whole world of mushrooms, that cultivated mushrooms that nobody's doing. And there's all these beautiful, I mean, there's pink ones, there's gold ones, there's blue ones, there's, I mean, all these different colors and shapes and sizes and textures and medicinal benefits. And I'm like, what is this world? Like, I feel like I found like a buried treasure or something. And so I started researching as much as possible, and then I started kind of dabbling with growing my own. And the first mushroom that I ever grew was in my bathroom. It kind of sounds weird, but I just grew it in my bathroom, and I fell in love with the process. Once they start to grow, it's not like growing a tomato plant where it takes 6 to 8 months for you to get the
Right.
fruit from. Once they start to grow, within a week or two, you're harvesting the mushrooms. So you can, if you stare at them long enough, which sometimes I do, you can almost see them growing, which is amazing. And from a culinary background, it was just like, it was love at first bite. Let's just call it that, because all the different flavors, like the flavors and the textures, and I can use the mushrooms to mimic the meat dishes that I used to really enjoy growing up. And I know that they're more flavorful and they're better for me and they're better for the earth. It's a win-win, you know?
All
So-
right.
Go ahead. No.
Go ahead.
No.
Nope. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so you have a mushroom farm. Is that what you,
Yes.
is that the correct terminology?
It's mushrooms and microgreens, yeah.
Okay.
But it's mainly mushroom.
And there are a plethora of mushrooms, and I don't know them all. Like Sean said, there are some common ones. We know the white ones. We know the portobellas,
Yep.
oyster.
Lion's mane.
Yeah.
Another one.
Well,
It just became,
right.
and you can't get them in the regular grocery store.
That's what I was
Yep.
getting ready to say.
Yeah.
How
You'll
many
probably
do you
see
have?
that.
Like, do you know, or how
I
many do you?
Mine are always changing. I have around 15
Oh,
different
okay.
varieties altogether, but I do different ones at different times of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
Lion's mane's a
Yep.
staple. Everybody wants lion's mane. That's the mushroom for your brain health. So
Okay.
a lot of people are taking lion's mane in some form or another, in supplement form or in tincture form, or some way to get it into them every single day. But eating the mushroom, it's actually more resemblant of seafood than it is of a mushroom. So I have people that come in
Okay.
that don't like mushrooms, and they love lion's mane. And then the
Oh.
people that are like mushroom fanatics, they're like, lion's mane? I don't want
Yeah.
to eat that. You know, it's funny to see the contrast there.
And I did read that what you just said, that mushrooms are a good health source, and I think people miss out on that because a lot of people say, I don't like the flavor, or they don't have a flavor. So there's so many varieties. Talk to using them, like you just said, in place of meat. Or in place of seafood. Like I don't eat meat, but I eat seafood. So sometimes I do just what you said, when I don't want to have a piece of fish or shrimp. But I'm portobello, oyster. So I got to kind of,
Expand your horizon.
yes, definitely. After this, I'm coming to your farm.
Yeah. So lion's mane is an interesting one. It is the most popular mushroom that I do, not only for the health benefits, but the people that love it, they love it.
Okay.
They really, really love it. So I've had people, I remember I did an Easter sale last year, and I did a big sale on lion's mane because I had a lot at that time, and people were buying it. And they were making the lion's mane crab cake, where basically you tear the mushroom. It's like this flaky, big, white snowball of a mushroom, and you tear it off into pieces, saute it, and then you form your patty like you would a crab cake. So your mayo, breadcrumbs, whatever you're using as a binder, a little bit of Old Bay seasoning in there. And I've had people come in and they make those patties and they feed them to their family, and they don't tell them it's
even
not
know.
crab.
That's
They
right.
Wow.
don't even know.
You can't.
Wow.
It's uncanny. It really
Nice.
is.
Nice.
Lion's mane's very versatile. So a popular recipe that a lot of people are doing now is to make it into a lion's mane steak, which is pretty unbelievable. And you wouldn't believe, if I showed you the video that I have of me making it into a steak, you're like, that's not a mushroom.
It's going to look like a steak.
It looks exactly
I don't
like
like
a steak.
No.
It's just
But
it's
for those
funny how you
people-
can
Yeah,
mimic.
yeah.
how you
Yeah.
can
It's
mimic.
for
You
the-
know, they
No,
have
yeah.
like the Impossible Burgers and the Beyond Meat burgers
Yeah,
and
it's-
things
yes.
that are mimicking, meat dishes. So
Right.
Are not
sometimes
good.
for me, like when I transitioned from a meat diet or a regular American diet to going plant-based, a lot of that was mental, and it was trying to do that transition because my body had the cravings for these things that I've been feeding myself for
Right.
years. So having those Impossible Beef burgers, and any other mimicking dishes that I had growing up, it was the easier way to transition.
Yes.
So
Yes.
some people need
We all
that.
tried that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to back up just a little bit because you said, once you started learning about food and in the way it's manufactured and the agriculture and things like that. Because one of the things someone said the other day to me is you can educate someone every day, all day long. It's the habit that needs to change. So I know you have to have that mindset. Like you said, let's talk about mindset and how you decided, you know what, I need to make a change for myself, for my health, and for the, like you said earlier, for the planet. You know what I mean? So what made you, what was the eye opener when, well, you said it kind of, you said you met this woman that was a mindful coach or a mindful
That was the slingshot that sent me in the right direction.
Okay,
Yeah.
because you didn't know why you were feeling the way you were feeling. You just knew it didn't feel good to be behind the desk and all of that, and then be unhealthy and so on and so forth. And then you met this person that opened your world up to something else, just like expanded the possibilities. And then from there, you went into microgreens and things like that. But it was an easy transition for you because I'm thinking that it is because of the way it sounds, that it might have been easy. But talk about the struggles that you did have with changing one thing at a time, you know what I mean? Or going from that, I'm not going to eat steak anymore. Or I'm not going to have, you know what I mean? I'm not going to have those things. Talk about that in a little bit, because a lot of people think that here you are and it was just easy, but we know it's not easy. It's a journey.
It wasn't easy at the same time. When I started kind of looking into the agricultural industry and looking into farming, there's a whole bunch of documentaries, and a lot of them are geared towards being vegan or being plant-based. And there is a lot of eye-opening information in those documentaries that once you see something, you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it.
And that stayed with me. And so I remember in the beginning, once I watched a couple of those, I was still kind of eating meat, but something was changing. I was like, I can't look at this the same anymore. So it was kind of a lot of different things at once too. So I did suffer from anxiety quite a bit in my old employment. Me asking those questions about what I really want out of life and what am I doing here, they kind of propelled me to look into all this information about what I'm putting into my body. And when I was experiencing a lot of that anxiety, I noticed all the crap that I was putting, excuse my French, but crap that I was putting in my body was not serving me, you know? So I started to look into food and sources of water and what am I ingesting? What's really going in? Am I getting good in, good out? And at the time I wasn't. So I dove into, being healthy and having healthy practices and a healthy mindset, and realizing that the quality of your thought and how you look at yourself and how you talk to yourself are all extremely important things to do on a day-to-day basis. And if we're not doing that, well, you're not going to get the outcome that you want. So,
and it's also connected to food.
It is.
People don't understand food is mood food.
Food is mood.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Food is medicine.
Definitely.
Food is medicine.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay.
We have a lot of conditions these days and things that people are going through, and they're just stuck in the ways of just going to the doctor, and the doctor tells you you need to take this or you need to take that. And luckily now what I've seen over the last few years, a lot more holistic approaches, a lot more ways to treat conditions with not only food but with meditation, with prayer.
Right.
I mean, look at all the stories about people that are overcoming cancer through meditation. Like, that's amazing.
With their minds.
The power of belief, the power of intention, like we talked about, and having that clarity and that focus and keeping that on the forefront instead of being consumed by the negative thought or, what if this happens? Or living in that state of fear. Get that out, experience it.
Kind of bring it back. I think we had it years ago, and then now, society taking over. Like you said, we move so fast, junk in, junk out, and now we're trying to say, I got to take care of me.
But we're programmed.
90%.
Yeah, definitely that.
I mean?
But
Yeah.
we're turning that corner to
Yeah.
where people want to take care of themselves. Like you said, your farm wouldn't be profitable if it wasn't for people wanting to change. So that's definitely a good thing too.
Oh,
you know, years ago, you probably would say to somebody, I'm going to make a burger out of a mushroom, and they'd be, I'm not eating that.
Exactly.
You know, so
Exactly. But you know, it's crazy because, like you said, with agriculture and big pharma, you know, big pharma, agriculture, all of that, they can't make any money when people start waking up.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a whole other topic.
It's a whole other topic, right? And so we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole right now.
Controlling the masses,
exactly. Controlling the masses, and when this is another reason why we're doing the podcast. It's like, you know, just to give people other ways of thinking.
Educating
you know what I mean?
People.
Yeah, just planting the seeds and just saying, you know, you don't have to do it your way, my way, her way.
Here's a suggestion, though.
Here's a suggestion. Have you thought about, you know? Have you thought about, you know, you've been on your medication for 30 years and you still have high blood pressure.
Right.
You still feel the same.
Right.
Yep.
So when you're looking at the things like mushrooms or whatever, and mushrooms, if you know how to pick them in the woods, it's even, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's cheaper to eat it's cheaper to eat good for your body, you know? Yeah. It's cheaper, but we won't go down that
rabbit hole. Coming from Mother Nature instead of a laboratory.
Exactly.
Because we are made of the earth.
Yeah.
And mushrooms were here before all of us.
And they were here before we were. Okay, so I'm sorry. I know I took us down another road. That's all right. But at the same time, so let's go back to the mushrooms, the different types of mushrooms that you grow, and some of the medicinal factors. And then say, you know, I'll throw a diagnosis out there, right? And you say this mushroom or that mushroom.
Okay.
We'll play this game a little bit, right?
Because my knowledge is a little bit more on the culinary side of things, but I do have some experience with the medicinal as well. Yeah.
Right. So what I mean by that, you know what I mean? The culinary side is great because people think, you know, we just keep going back to the mindset. I'm getting a little stuck here, but we keep going back to the mindset.
Mushrooms can be a mindset.
Yeah. You know, and it's like, okay, so talk more about what type of mushrooms there are out there that you grow that you wouldn't normally find in the grocery store.
Yes.
Yep.
And then in their medicinal or their benefits, not medicinal, you know, but the benefits from a couple of things, and then how you cook them.
Okay. So I'll start with the lion's mane because that's the most popular one. Lion's mane is the mushroom for your brain health, so cognitive function, memory, repairing damaged nerves, promoting hair growth. All the mushrooms, pretty much for the most part, have properties for bone support and immunity support. But lion's mane is the one that really goes into your neural network and kind of reconnects certain things that have been blocked for years. And it's really, there's a ton of research behind it. It's an amazing, powerful, adaptogenic mushroom. So as far as cooking it, it is super versatile. It's a very mild mushroom flavor, so it likes to absorb any spices or sauces or anything that you put into it. So you can make it. I've made it into steaks. I've made it into sausages. The lion's mane crab cakes. I made lion's mane clam chowder, which is really nice. It's unbelievable. You can even make it into a burger, lion's mane burgers. So I remember first cooking it, the first 4 or 5 pounds that I cooked with, I'm like, what is this? Like I couldn't figure it out because it has a 94% moisture content. So it's a lot of water in the mushroom. Yeah. So when I cook mushrooms, I really cook them down and get all the water out of them to get the nice meatiness of the mushroom that's left behind. But with lion's mane, you kind of want to ease back a little bit because you want to retain some of that moisture in the mushroom so you can kind of get that seafoody type feel, like the bite that you would have from like a lobster or a crab meat. So that was a little hard for me to kind of overcome in the beginning because I cooked all the mushrooms the same. And I realized going down this path with my culinary background that not all the mushrooms are the same and you can't cook them all the same, you know? So oyster mushroom is probably the second most popular, and that's just because too I do a wide variety of oysters. So you can sometimes find oysters in the store. Usually once people come to my store, they don't buy oysters from the regular store because they're all kind of beat up looking.
You can taste the difference.
You could taste the difference. You could see.
I was going to say you could see it. Well, I haven't seen them from years. I've gone to the grocery store to buy them, and I look at them, you know, and I could tell.
It looks sad.
He's been sitting here for
Yeah.
But, you know.
And you don't know how many people pick them up and, you know, wipe
Yes.
their face with them. And
Yeah, it's like, what?
doing.
I don't want that. Yeah.
Don't give me that visual.